How's it going, guys? It's Randy, the REI Rockstar. Thank you for joining us on this quick and easy advice, tips, and tricks and training. My name is Randy, and if you know about me, awesome. If you don't know about me, go to the REIRockstar.com and read all about me. Join our newsletter if you'd like to get notified about these tutorial videos that I put out as often as possible. Today's video is awesome. There's a lot of beginners out there. There's a lot of people who want to get involved in real estate investing, and they don't know where to start. They have a bunch of questions that are keeping them from jumping in the pool. So I wanted to put together my top 10 most asked real estate investing questions that I've gotten. These are both my own questions that I had in the beginning, and they were justified as time went on. I became a coach. I would get them from students, okay, and I get them online all the time too for those who visit my blog and email me a question. So these are the top 10. I'll probably throw a couple extra in there as well. Let's get started. Number one, by the way, guys, I'm not an attorney, I'm not a CPA, and as a legal disclosure, I always recommend that you hire a competent legal counsel for legal and financial advice. So take this as information only, and they do not support or subject the views of YouTube or any other corporation that might be tied to my website, including GoDaddy or whomever. So that legal stuff's out of the way. Question number one, question and an answer. Do I need to have a real estate license to invest in real estate? No, it's optional. So where that may come from is, when you're buying and selling homes, you may get this sort of feeling that, hey, am I a realtor? Am I a broker? Is it a gray line? Is it a gray area? Well, here's the thing. You're not, as an investor, you're really just representing yourself, okay? With respect to the buyer and seller, you're in it for profit, so you really don't need a license to do that. In fact, I think the only time, the one obscure law that I can think of is there's some short sale laws and some flipping laws in like Idaho that says something to the effect of, if you're going to be investing in short sales, that you need to have a real estate license. So, and who goes to Idaho anyway? No offense, guys. But, when it comes to having a license, no, you do not need a license to buy and sell real estate. Think about being involved in a transaction as an equitable interest position. So when you have equitable interest in some type of property, be it real property or private property, okay, you usually reserve some kind of right to do what you want with that property, and it's usually contractual. So if you've entered into a contract, you should have a right to assign it, to exit, to cancel the contract, or what have you. You can write up an addendum to that contract. And again, where that may be coming from is, as a realtor, as a licensed individual, yes, you are representing buyer and seller. But in your case, you didn't enter into a listing agreement with a seller. You simply signed a purchase and sales agreement. So no, you do not need a license, thankfully. Now, with respect to realtors and brokers, should you want to do that as a career, awesome, or add that as a benefit to being an investor. Many investors do that. They get their license so that they can go online and no longer have to depend on others to get them comparable sales data, or perhaps to find the best deals first when they come onto the MLS, okay? Or, hey, it's another steady stream of income, right? If you're a good realtor, somebody who's highly effective, you may very well have lots of clients and be representing buyers and sellers throughout the year, doing several deals a month, and that's another income stream, right? So hopefully I cleared that up for you guys. Very popular question for a newbie, as well as some individuals who might be a little bit more novice. Question number two. How can I accurately determine repair costs? This is obviously important when you're trying to structure deals. And, guys, I'm going to go pretty quickly through these 10. I've only got about 15 minutes to record this video for you, so I'm so sorry if I'm going quick. And I'm also from Chicago, so I speak a little quickly. So, number two, how can I accurately determine repair costs? Obviously important. You're going to need to know what amount is it going to cost to replace this carpet, how much is it going to cost to repaint the outside or fix that drywall. Best way to do this, if you don't have this background, guys, construction background, is to find a contractor. And you can do this through referral. You can ask other investors. Don't be shy. Say, hey, who do you use? Who do you recommend? I need to know what it's going to cost me on XYZ when I get that property. Do that. Another way is to cold call investors on Craigslist. I'm sorry, not investors, other contractors on Craigslist, and they're easy to find in any part of the nation. Look at Craigslist. Let's go to, let's see here. Sorry for the load time there. Chicago, my hometown. You're going to go to Services and just type in Contractor. You could even add the word free estimates if you wanted to. There you go. Home modeling and repairs in suburbs. Right here. Alright. Give them a call. Be friendly. Hey, my name is such and such. I live in the area. I'm an investor. And, you know, from time to time, come across properties that need a lot of work. I don't quite know how to gauge or estimate what those repairs might be. Would you help me out with a free estimate here and there? Yeah, sure. Exchange contact information. There you go. And it's even better. It's a big plus if they can give you some type of invoice or printout or email on each one that they do. Okay? Another incentive, if you want to incentivize this all-star contractor here, is you can say something to the effect of, listen, I don't buy every property, and I'm sure you don't get every gig, but the times that I'll do, I will use you. And if I, for whatever reason, get involved with another partner and or several partners, I'll take your quote and I'll give it to those end buyers. And they'll love you for that, okay? Nobody likes to work for free, so it's the least you can do for these contractors if you happen to be a wholesaler. All right, next question. Let's see here. Question number 3. Oh, this is for the folks who kind of start reading about real estate and they learn about simultaneous or double closes. And common question is it illegal in my state? And so the best way I can answer that, again, not being an attorney, CPA, and just giving you regular advice, is that it's not necessarily if something is illegal or not in my experience. I think what the real question comes is the title company participating in this, okay? So I can't think of any state right now that it's straight illegal to do a close in the same day, and it wouldn't really make sense for the folks in D.C. to make a law for that, although I wouldn't get my hopes up there. It doesn't make sense because if you bought a home and you needed to exit it quickly, or for whatever reason you're in a divorce situation, once you take legal title to a property, you have every right to do whatever you want with it, okay? And the same goes for investors, okay? As long as you're not doing anything unethical, equity skimming or something like that, government should stay out of it. So, yeah, double closes, completely fine. It's the title companies who decide whether or not they invest in that, okay? So, and the reason is they have a insurance provider who insures their transactions. Some title companies use a third party, some are the insurance providers themselves, and the best way to find out is call another investor and say, who do you use for your double closes, and you'll get your answer. I do not recommend you cold call title companies. That will take you forever, and you're very likely to get discouraged once they seem like they're not really there to answer all your questions. They're not. These companies, obviously, they have hundreds of files. They're super busy. They could probably use a little customer service in their step. So yeah, don't call these companies and bug them about double closes and stuff like that. Just get a recommendation from another investor. That's the best way to do that. All right, number 4. We got to go quickly, guys. Let's see here. This is an interesting one. I actually get questions from folks saying, what about competition? What do I do about competition? Should I do this? Who's investing and who's not? And I'd say the best way to answer this is, whatever endeavor you take on, there's going to be competition. If you wanted to, just in the same industry, if you want to be a real estate agent or a mortgage broker, all of these folks are going after the same buyers and sellers. So don't worry about competition. I would take on the Tiger Woods attitude, okay? In that, I don't know, I read somewhere that he just worries about himself. Try to be the best investor that you can be, and you'll stand out in the competition. I don't think Google's too worried about Yahoo, right? I don't think that Pizza Hut is too worried about Domino's every day. Does it stop them from making pizza? No. So don't let it stop you from making a little money in real estate investing. Don't worry about competition. Not to mention, even if you took that question straight on and you had all these statistics about how many people are entering in and who's flipping and who's not, how many wholesalers there are, even with all that, at the end of the day, if you have a little personality, right, and you offer a better product, you're going to get the business, okay? So welcome that competition and that free enterprise, okay? Capitalism is awesome. What if you can't find a buyer? That's a good one. Question number 5. What if we can't find a buyer and my buyer backs out, right? So, all right. So as far as buyers go, some folks say find a deal and the buyer will come. I don't know that is going to work out for you, okay? You should proactively go out and go to these real estate investor meetings downtown and the courthouse steps, and proactively find your cash buyers or landlord buyers. Okay. You can also go again to Craigslist, go to the services section, type in "We Buy Houses," and call up every single real estate investor. Hey, you got capital? You can also call a hard money company and say, who's the guy, who's the girl who comes in here all the time closing these houses? I need a recommendation because I have properties. And by the way, would you guys offer the hard money to my investors? Sure, and you'll get a recommendation that way. So that's the best way you can find cash buyers. Now, yes, another way that's free is you can go to realtors, have them go on the MLS, and specifically, now this may or may not, the MLS is different in every single county, right? So in some areas, you're actually able to search transactions based on what type of capital was used. Was it financing or cash or whatever? So you can actually get a list from realtors. Sometimes it even has the phone number of the investor. Send them a postcard or call them, email them, do what you got to do, get those cash buyers. Number 7, can I flip real estate in my city or town? Yes, you can. As to how much success you have, this question is both large and small, because your success is going to be related to how much you put in. So, this question comes from people who live in smaller areas. Maybe you live in Prescott Valley, Arizona, right? Or some obscure city or municipality. You could do it, yes. It may not be as consistent, and I'd say the best way to go about that is research. So number 1, find out how many deals are on the MLS. How many properties are listed right now on the MLS, okay? This is going to help you gauge what type of activity is going on, all right? There's markets and there's also sub-markets. Now, if I were you, I would just go to the next largest city that's not too far. I'm talking, hour and a half away, where when you get a deal, it's worth it to spend 45 minutes to an hour driving somewhere just to close it. And besides, courier services are cheap anyway. So if you do get a deal, pay somebody $50, you're going to make $5,000, get it done. All right. So yeah, it could be done in your city or town, but you're better just doing it virtually within an hour and a half from your city. Question 8. What if my buyer goes around me? Guys, this has happened to me, I think, once, and one of my partners mentioned this, but I'm not going to say it's common. In my 6-7 years of doing this, I've only had one time where a buyer attempted to go around me. And what I'm describing here, guys, is a situation where you get something locked up and somehow your buyer tries to go around you and talk to the seller. Now, it's not very common, but I can tell you there's ways to protect yourself. Don't be all liberal with your advertising and put it all over Craigslist with the full address and the lockbox code. No. When you get a property locked up, you go to your buyers first, your VIP buyers, you give them a phone call, right? And then you turn around and you email blast later. Rarely, lastly, should you put stuff on Craigslist, okay? And the one time it did happen to me was from a person who actually was in the real estate industry a long time. He had fell on hard times, so, I forgive the guy, but he actually went to our buyer, Googled them somehow. He didn't even have the phone number to the seller, and he went around to our seller, I should say, and just basically said, hey, if this doesn't work out, give me a call, okay? Not good ethics, okay? We are not governed by any specific investing entity, but we do have ethics as investors, and that's a no-no. So please don't do that if you're that type of person, and if it happens to you, best way to prevent it is to be cautious. Now, there's another way. You can record a memorandum or some type of option agreement publicly in the county records. It'll cloud title and stop them from closing, and they'll feel like a jerk when they have to pay you out at title. All right. Let's do these last 2 questions, guys, and I think what I'll do is I'll do a part 2 to this. How about that? So number 9, why would somebody sell me a home at a discount? Guys, there's all kinds of reasons why people sell at a discount. You got divorce, death, probate, moving out of town, I lost my job, no equity in my home, I need to downsize, I had a baby. People are in situations where the MLS doesn't meet their needs, so they have to sell quickly. And when you're offering that as a solution, you can earn a profit. It's your right. So that's why people sell at a discount. You're not snaking people. You're not doing something bad. You'll have more people say no than yes. Okay? So don't worry about that. People will sell at a discount. And finally, our last question, what's the most effective marketing and cheapest? 2 questions in one. Number 1, Craigslist. That's for free. Number 2, the paid stuff. You got bandit signs, postcards, and AdWords online. Thanks for joining me, guys, on this free tutorial. Visit the REIRockstar.com for more.